Nestled amidst emerald hills and sparkling rivers lay the picturesque town of Greenvale. The air was sweet with the scent of wildflowers. The laughter of children echoed through the valley. Neighbors helped neighbors. Friendships bloomed like the wildflowers that dotted the hillsides. At the heart of this close-knit community lived Mr. Isaac.
Whether it was organizing the annual town fair or simply offering a listening ear, I was always there to lend a helping hand.
Mr. Isaac was the glue that held Greenvale together. His door was always open, a beacon of hope and guidance for all who needed it. He was Greenvale's guardian, its protector, its guiding light. But even idyllic Greenvale was not immune to the forces of nature.
News reached me of a looming threat, mudslides. The thought sent shivers down my spine.
A sense of urgency washed over Mr. Isaac. He had to act and act fast. The safety of his beloved Greenvale depended on it. The skies above Greenvale, once a brilliant blue, turned an ominous gray.
I knew I had to act swiftly. The information I had gathered about mudslides weighed heavily on my mind.
He had spent the previous night handwriting dozens of flyers, a call to action for his beloved community.
My footsteps echoed on the empty streets as I moved from house to house, leaving flyers at each doorstep. The rain intensified, mirroring the growing anxiety within me.
Word spread through the town like wildfire.
Never before had we faced a threat of this magnitude.
The image of their own peaceful Greenvale, scarred and broken, was a chilling thought. The rain continued to fall, a relentless drumming against their windows.
Everyone awaited my next move, trusting me to guide them through this impending crisis.
As dusk settled over Greenvale, the heart of the community pulsed within the town hall.
We are facing an impending threat, but we must be prepared and act collectively to mitigate the risks.
He explained the science behind these natural disasters and the importance of preparedness.
We will plant trees, improve drainage, and establish emergency protocols. Together, we can overcome this challenge.
Amidst the grim warnings, there was a glimmer of hope in his words. He reminded them that together, they could overcome this challenge. The hushed silence in the town hall was broken by Mr. Isaac's steady voice.
Our town, our home, is facing a serious threat, but fear not, for we have the power to protect it.
He outlined a multifaceted plan, a strategy born of both urgency and meticulous research.
We will become guardians of our land. We will plant trees, bolster our slopes, and guide the flow of water. We will be ready.
His words resonated through the room, a call to action that transcended fear. This was not a time for despair, but a time to rally, to unite, to safeguard their beloved Greenvale. As one, they would face this challenge head-on. Days after the town hall meeting, Greenvale was alive with a different kind of energy. Mr. Isaac's words had resonated, awakening a sleeping giant, the collective will of the people.
The once bare hillsides, now deemed vulnerable, were to be transformed into a green shield.
Men, women, and children worked tirelessly, planting row upon row of saplings.
The rhythmic clang of shovels against the earth was a symphony of unity.
They had planted not just trees, but the seeds of hope, of resilience, of a future secured. But their work was far from over.
Under the guidance of local engineers and with my unwavering support, we embarked on a project of unprecedented scale for our small town.
Ditches were dug, culverts laid, and retention ponds strategically placed to intercept the flow of rainwater. Local engineer, S2, the once disparate parts of Greenvale were now being woven together by a network of carefully planned drainage systems. They were not merely building drainage systems, they were crafting a future where their town could withstand the fury of nature. They toiled, their spirits undeterred by the magnitude of the task ahead. As the final days before the predicted downpours dwindled, a new kind of preparation began in Greenvale.
We practiced evacuation routes, memorized emergency contact numbers, and learned basic first aid. Knowledge is our most powerful weapon against the unknown. Townsperson 2, S4. The air thrummed with a nervous energy, a palpable tension as the skies above Greenvale grew heavy with the promise of rain.
They had heeded Mr. Isaac's call to action, transforming their fear into action, their vulnerability into strength. They were ready, ready for the rains, ready together to face whatever lay ahead. The long-awaited and dreaded day finally arrived. The skies, heavy with portent, unleashed their fury upon Greenvale. The river, once a source of tranquility and life, transformed into a roaring monster. Fear, raw and primal, tightened its grip on the hearts of the townspeople. Mud, thick and unforgiving, surged down the slopes, carrying with it rocks, trees, and everything in its path. The storm raged, testing the limits of their newly constructed defenses. But even as fear threatened to consume them, the spirit of Greenvale refused to be extinguished. Neighbors helped neighbors, sharing what little food and shelter they had.
Everyone, stay calm and follow the evacuation plan. We will get through this together.
Mr. Isaac, a tower of strength amidst the chaos, was everywhere. He coordinated rescue efforts, his calm demeanor a source of reassurance to the frightened townspeople. Even the children, their innocence tested by the ferocity of the storm, displayed remarkable resilience. They assisted in any way they could, their small acts of courage a testament to the indomitable spirit of Greenvale.
We won't let this storm break us. We stand together, stronger than ever.
As the night wore on, the true test of their efforts began. The newly planted trees, their roots digging deep into the earth, acted as a natural barrier, slowing the onslaught of mud and debris. The drainage systems, meticulously planned and constructed, worked tirelessly, diverting the floodwaters away from vulnerable areas.
Look at those ponds. They're doing their job. We're going to be okay.
And then, as if exhausted from its own fury, the storm began to subside. Battered, bruised, but not broken, Greenvale still stood. As the sun rose higher in the sky, casting its golden light upon the sodden landscape, the people of Greenvale emerged from their homes. A collective sigh of relief swept through the town. They had weathered the storm. The damage, though significant, was far less than it could have been. Homes had been spared, lives saved.
In the heart of the town square, amidst the mud and debris, Mr. Isaac stood tall. He looked upon the faces of his people, exhausted, mud-splattered, but radiant with the light of survival, of unity, of triumph.
The ordeal had tested them, had pushed them to their limits. They had faced the storm together, and together they would rebuild. The storm had passed, leaving behind a trail of destruction in its wake. The once familiar landscape of Greenvale was scarred, the streets littered with debris.
Yet, amidst the devastation, there was a palpable sense of relief. The floodwaters had receded, the rain had stopped, and the sun was breaking through the clouds.
Greenvale, though wounded, was alive. The spirit of the community, far from being dampened by the disaster, seemed to burn brighter than ever. The storm had left its mark, not just on the landscape, but on the hearts and minds of the people. There was grief for lost possessions, for damaged homes, for the familiar rhythm of life disrupted.
The storm had stripped away the veneer of normalcy, revealing the raw, unfiltered essence of humanity.
Neighbors shared what little food and water they had, their differences forgotten in the face of shared hardship. Stories were exchanged, tears shed, and laughter, like a fragile seedling pushing through the cracked earth, began to sprout anew. They had each other to lean on, and that made all the difference. Greenvale rebuilds. The people of Greenvale turned their attention to rebuilding their lives and town. Streets were cleared of debris, houses were repaired, gardens replanted. The sound of tools and voices filled the air. The community center became a hub of activity. Volunteers worked tirelessly with compassion.
Together we can rebuild Greenvale stronger than ever.
Section 4. Stronger Together. Days turned into weeks, and slowly, painstakingly, Greenvale began to heal. The scars of the storm remained, a stark reminder of nature's power, but so too did the spirit of the people who had faced that power head-on. The rebuilt Greenvale was not a replica of its former self, but something stronger, more resilient, more tightly woven together by the threads of shared experience and collective triumph. They had faced their fears, confronted their vulnerabilities, and emerged from the other side, not unscathed, but unbowed. They had learned the true meaning of community, the profound strength that comes from facing adversity together, hand in hand.
We've been through so much, but look at us now. We've rebuilt our town, and in doing so, we've rebuilt our spirits.
And as the sun set each evening, painting the sky in hues of hope and renewal, the people of Greenvale knew that they were not just rebuilding their town, but rebuilding their spirits, their sense of belonging, their faith in the indomitable human spirit. They were Greenvale, and they were stronger together. Section 1. The rain's return. Months passed. The scars of the storm began to fade, replaced by the vibrant hues of new life. Yet a sense of unease lingered in the air as the rainy season approached once more. Memories of the devastating floods, still vivid in their minds, cast a long shadow over the town.
We've faced this before and we'll face it again. We know what to do and we'll do it together.
The skies grew heavy with pregnant clouds. The wind picked up, carrying the first drops of rain. But this time, fear did not paralyze them. The ordeal, though harrowing, had forged within them a steely resolve, a newfound understanding of their own strength and resilience. They were ready.
The moment the first raindrops fell, a well-rehearsed plan swung into action.
Mr. Isaac, his leadership tempered by experience, became the calm at the center of the storm. His voice, amplified by a megaphone, rang through the streets, directing, guiding, reassuring.
The evacuation routes, once hypothetical lines on a map, became lifelines.
Families, their faces etched with worry but their steps resolute, moved towards higher ground, their emergency kits in tow. The elderly and infirm, their safety paramount, were assisted by a network of volunteers.
The community center, a beacon of hope in the heart of the storm, once again transformed into a sanctuary.
Inside its brightly lit hall, neighbors comforted neighbors, sharing stories, anxieties, and dwindling supplies of food and warmth. The rain fell relentlessly, testing the limits of their defenses, their resolve. But this time, the outcome was different. The hillsides, once scarred and vulnerable, held firm. The roots of the newly planted trees, their grip strengthened by time, anchored the soil. The network of ditches and culverts, meticulously maintained in the aftermath of the previous year's devastation, channeled the water away from the town, their efficiency a testament to the countless hours of back-breaking work. The retention ponds, now familiar landmarks, performed their duty, absorbing the excess water. Days later, as the storm finally exhausted its fury, the sun broke through the retreating clouds, casting a golden ray of light upon a weary but triumphant Greenvale. The floodwaters receded, revealing a town that had been tested by nature's wrath and emerged stronger, more resilient than ever before.
There was damage, yes, but it was minimal. A far cry from the devastation of the previous year. The bridge, a symbol of our connection to the outside world, had held. Our homes, our families, our community. We had weathered the storm. Greenvale had won.
The air, freshly washed by the receding storm, crackled with a different kind of energy now. It wasn't the frantic energy of fear, but the quiet hum of gratitude, of relief, of pride. Greenvale, once on the brink of despair, now thrummed with the vibrant pulse of survival. Mr. Isaac, his shoulders stooped but his spirit unbowed, surveyed the scene with a heart full of emotion. He had borne witness to the very best of humanity in the face of nature's fury. The townspeople, once afraid, had transformed into beacons of courage, compassion, and resilience. Their strength lay in the unbreakable bonds they shared. As life in Greenvale returned to normalcy, a profound shift occurred. They carried the wisdom of survival, understanding their vulnerability and resilience. Lessons from those dark days were not forgotten. Mr. Isaac's words now resonated with lived experience. Tested by fire, they emerged unbowed. The spirit of self-reliance and community responsibility flourished. Preparedness workshops were now eagerly attended. Children embraced the lessons with seriousness. The storm forged a strength transcending the physical. They emerged with a profound understanding of community, compassion, and resilience. A year had passed since the storm. The scars on the land had healed, replaced by the vibrant hues of new life. The Greenvale Summer Festival now held a deeper significance. It was a testament to their survival and unity. Mr. Isaac watched with a heart overflowing with gratitude. The storm, a distant memory, no longer held any power over them. They emerged stronger, more united, appreciating the simple joys of life. Greenvale, once a small town, was now a beacon of hope. Thanks for watching Village Security Channel.
Greenvale is my home. It's a place that holds my heart and soul, a place where every corner is filled with memories and every street tells a story. I've lived here all my life, raised my family here. My parents did the same, and their parents before them. It's a legacy of love and togetherness that spans generations. It's a place where life is simple, where the hustle and bustle of the outside world seems like a distant echo. Here we find joy in the little things, where people work hard and look after each other. In Greenvale, community isn't just a word, it's a way of life. We share our joys and sorrows, our triumphs and challenges.
Mr. Isaac was Greenvale's rock. He was more than just a man. He was a symbol of strength and resilience. He was a man of the earth. His hands, weathered and strong, told the story of a life spent nurturing the land. He knew its rhythms, its whispers and its roars. People trusted him. They sought his wisdom, his guidance, and his unwavering support. Greenvale was a small town nestled at the foot of a mountain. It was a place where nature and humanity coexisted in harmony. The air was clean, the laughter was easy. The skies were a brilliant blue, and the mountains stood as silent guardians over the town. The people of Greenvale loved their town. They celebrated its heritage, its traditions, and its future with a fervor that was palpable. They loved its beauty. They loved its peace. The rolling hills, the lush forests, and the tranquil rivers were all part of the tapestry that made Greenvale special. But danger lurked in the shadows. The serenity of Greenvale was sometimes disrupted by forces beyond its control. High above, the mountain loomed. It was a constant reminder of nature's power and unpredictability, a silent sentinel watching over the town. The townsfolk knew that they had to be vigilant, always ready to face whatever challenges came their way. They prepared together, standing united in the face of adversity. Despite the looming threats, life in Greenvale continued with a sense of hope and determination. The children played, the elders reminisced, and the community thrived. As the sun set over Greenvale, casting a golden glow over the town, the people felt a deep sense of belonging. This was their home, their sanctuary, their heart. And in their hearts, they carried the spirit of Greenvale, a spirit that would endure through all seasons, all challenges, and all times. The threat of mudslides was real. Every year the rains came, they lashed the mountainside. The water would cascade down, carrying mud and debris. It was a dangerous mix.
I've seen the power of nature, I know the risks, but I am determined to protect this town. I won't let disaster strike. I have a plan.
Mr. Isaac knew he couldn't do it alone. He needed to rally his community. He needed to educate them. He needed to prepare them. Mr. Isaac called a town hall meeting. The whole town gathered. They filled the community center, ready to listen to their leader. They trusted him.
The danger is real. We must prepare. We need to plant trees, build drainage systems, and train for emergencies. Together we can protect Greenvale.
He had their attention. He laid out his plan. He inspired them. He gave them hope. The people of Greenvale sprang into action. They worked tirelessly, planting trees on the mountainside.
These trees will anchor the soil, slow down the water.
They dug ditches, built channels. The drainage systems would divert the water, protecting the town.
We share tools, we share laughter. We're united in this effort.
They worked side by side, sharing a common goal. They were united. Section 5. Preparing for the storm.
I organized emergency response training.
He taught them first aid.
I taught them evacuation routes.
He taught them how to use communication equipment. The community practiced drills. They simulated different scenarios. They learned how to work together. They were prepared.
I watched with pride. I had brought them together. I had given them the tools to survive. I had given them hope.
Section 6. When the rains came. The rain came. It came down hard. It lashed the mountainside relentlessly. Rivers of water cascaded down everywhere, but Greenvale was ready. The trees held the soil firmly. The drainage systems efficiently diverted the water. The community responded with calm and efficiency. There was no panic. They had prepared well. They knew exactly what to do. They worked together. They survived. Section 7. A celebration of strength. The storm passed. The sun broke through the clouds. Greenvale had weathered the storm. They had survived. The community gathered in the town square. They were battered, but not broken. They were tired, but triumphant.
They cheered for Mr. Isaac. He had saved their town. He had shown them the power of unity. He had shown them the power of resilience.
Section 8. The Legacy of Greenvale. Mr. Isaac stood before his community. He was proud. They had faced their fears. They had overcome the odds. They had found strength in unity.
He reminded them that their work was not over. They needed to remain vigilant. They needed to maintain their preparations. He knew that the threat of mudslides would always be there, but he also knew that they were ready. They had faced their fears. They had learned from their experience.
Section 9. Beyond the mountain shadows. In the heart of the mountains, where shadows stretch long and the air is crisp, lies the town of Greenvale. Nestled in a valley, this town has a story that has touched the hearts of many. The story of Greenvale spread far and wide. It was a tale of resilience, of a community that stood together in the face of adversity. News outlets covered it extensively, and social media buzzed with posts sharing Greenvale's journey. It became a beacon of hope for many. Like a lighthouse guiding ships through stormy seas, Greenvale's story illuminated the path for other communities facing similar challenges. People gathered, holding candles, symbolizing the light of hope that Greenvale had ignited. It showed the world what a united community could achieve. From rebuilding homes to organizing town hall meetings, the people of Greenvale demonstrated the power of collective effort. Their determination and spirit were truly inspiring. It showed the power of proactive preparation. Engineers worked tirelessly to inspect and reinforce flood barriers, while community members participated in disaster preparedness drills. Their proactive measures ensured that they were ready for any future challenges. Other towns learned from Greenvale. They saw the importance of being prepared and implemented similar safety measures. Workshops and training sessions were held, spreading the knowledge and practices that had made Greenvale resilient. They too became more resilient. These towns, once vulnerable, now thrived with robust infrastructure and a strong sense of community. The ripple effect of Greenvale's story was felt far and wide.
The legacy of Mr. Isaac lived on. He was a man of vision and compassion whose leadership had steered Greenvale through its darkest times. His wisdom and kindness were remembered by all. He had not only saved his town. Through his efforts, he had created a blueprint for others to follow. The natural barriers he helped establish protected the town and became a model for others. He had inspired countless others. Volunteers from near and far came together working on projects that would benefit their communities. Tree planting in community gardens became a symbol of growth and renewal. He had shown the world that even in the face of adversity, there is always hope. As the sun rose over the peaceful valley, the people of Greenvale gathered, filled with hope and determination. Their story was a testament to the enduring human spirit.
Section 10. A blueprint for the future. In this chapter, we delve into the inspiring story of Greenvale, a small town that has become a beacon of hope and resilience. The story of Greenvale is a testament to the human spirit. This town, once devastated by natural disasters, has risen from the ashes, stronger and more united than ever before. It's a story about courage, resilience, and the unwavering strength found in unity. The residents of Greenvale have shown that when people come together with a common purpose, they can overcome even the most daunting challenges. It reminds us that we are not powerless against the forces of nature. By taking proactive measures, such as reinforcing our homes and preparing emergency kits, we can significantly reduce the impact of disasters. By educating ourselves about potential risks and by working together, we can create a safer environment for everyone. Community workshops and school programs play a crucial role in spreading awareness and knowledge. We can mitigate disasters and protect our communities. Volunteers tirelessly work to reinforce riverbanks and construct community shelters, while firefighters undergo rigorous training to be prepared for any emergency.
The spirit of Greenvale serves as a blueprint for the future, a future where communities are empowered, prepared, and resilient in the face of any challenge. Imagine a world where every community is as prepared and united as Greenvale. Neighborhood watch meetings and emergency preparedness drills become the norm, ensuring that everyone knows what to do in times of crisis. Remember, we can make a difference together. By fostering a sense of community and working hand in hand, we can build a future where resilience and preparedness are at the forefront. Let's take inspiration from Greenvale and strive to create a world where every community is ready to face any challenge that comes their way. Thanks for watching Village Security Channel.